Kpaceguy here. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Q&A video with Kpaceguy. So I did my first ever question and answer video a couple weeks back and you guys really liked it and had some really good questions. So I decided to bring it back again for those who wanted their chance to ask a question. So we're going to go back through and answer some of the questions that you guys have left on my post on the community tab on YouTube. So we're going to get right into it. So if you guys really enjoyed this kind of video, let me know that in the comment section. Maybe I'll make this like a once a month kind of thing. Maybe every month I'll ask you guys to ask me some questions if you guys think you like that. So let me know down below in the comment section if you like these kind of videos, and I'll possibly start doing them more often. All right, getting right into it, we have Malaya Cunningham, and she asks, what is the biggest thing you wish to accomplish in life, and what or who motivates or inspires you to reach your goals? Well, this may be a weird answer, but I don't have anybody that inspires me to do anything. It's weird. I don't have like a role model. I don't look up to anybody. I am my own motivation, unfortunately, which has been okay. I don't really look up to anybody. My biggest motivation, I would say, is my future family, because there's nothing more that I want in life than to start a family right now. I would like to find a wife and have kids in the future, blah, blah, blah. And I want to be the best husband slash dad that I can be when it comes time. So my motivation to get my life together now is because I want my future to look that way. I want to be the best father that I can be. I want to be the best husband that I can be when that time comes. So I'm my own biggest motivation. And then the thought of my future is also my motivation. And then to answer what is the biggest thing you wish to accomplish in life, I've never thought about it, to be honest with you. Money doesn't mean anything to me. Of course, it's important to everybody, but it's not my driving force in life. I don't really have the biggest accomplishment. I just know that I want to be happy at the end of the day. Whatever that is, doing whatever that is, I just want to be happy doing it. So no really big inspirations, no really big accomplishments. I just want to die happy and know that I left a big imprint on every person's life that I come across. So that's about it. All right, Jeff asks, how do I know if my AV processor will work well with an amplifier? What should I look for? Well, it's not really what should you look for in your amplifier to match your AV processor. It's more of matching it with your speakers. So when you're looking for an amplifier, you want to look for power ratings. You want to look for impedance or ohms, 4 ohms, 6 ohms, 8 ohms. You want to look for that. You want to look for sound quality. Some are characterized as being warm, some are neutral, some are on the bright side, some are on the warm side, or whatever the case is. So you want to look for those things, but you want to match it with your speakers. You want to make sure that they play nice with your speaker system, and they can do what you're looking for. If you have power hungry speakers, you may want to find an amplifier that's really efficient at getting power from itself to your speakers. If you have an AV processor that uses XLR outputs, maybe it's worth getting an amplifier that uses XLR inputs, just so you get the cleanest signal going back and forth. So it's not necessarily matching your preprocessor to your amplifier, it's more matching your amplifier to the speakers that you have or that you're looking to get. Henry Konga 58 asks, hey Kpaceguy, I noticed just about every video on YouTube, people have their speakers grills off. What about you? Grills on or off? Well, I am a grills off person, but weirdly, my Canton Ventos, which I think are my best looking speaker that I've owned, I have my grills on. And I think it's because the white with the black grill contrast just looks so good. I just love it. But typically, I'm a grills off kind of person. I don't have any kids or any kind of pets, so they're fine. But some people believe, audiophiles believe, some of them do at least, that when you have grills on your speakers, there is just a fragment of sound that is hindered by the speaker grill. And it may not be audible to us, the human ear, but I think you can measure it. So if you're a stickler, like an absolute nut about audio, you may not want to put your grills on. You won't be able to perceive a difference. But if you're somebody who constantly reads graphs and things, it may bother you. But I'm not one of those people, so I have my grills on right now, but every now and then I take them off, so. Keeping Up with the Jones asks, what is the most important speaker in a home theater setup? It's 2 speakers, and they're interchangeable. Number 1 is obviously the center channel speaker. Without the center channel speaker, you're not hearing anything. All your other speakers in your room are surround speakers. Your front left, right, surround back left, right, Atmos, RODD, DTSX, those are all surround sound speakers, but the voices and the center action happens from the center channel. So you have to get that correct. The next and most important speaker is the subwoofer. That rounds off everything. Try watching a movie and then turning off the subs and keep watching it. You just miss something. It sounds really anemic. It doesn't sound as impactful. It's just not as fun. And even in music, it makes a huge difference too. So those are arguably the two, and you can interchange them how you want to, the two most important speakers, center channel and subwoofer. So don't skimp out on any of those. You will regret it. S18018 asks, is it hard to match speakers with amplifiers the more hi-fi you get? I will say no. I think it's the same or maybe easier. And the reason being, let's use my Anthem AVM70. I consider that a pretty high-end AV processor for the most part. And I have a monoprice monolith amplifier with it. And they work fine. It's not really, again, kind of like going back to the first question, it's not really about matching your AV processor or your AV receiver to an amplifier. It's more of your speakers. But it's not hard necessarily. You just got to look for the impedance levels, look for the power ratings. You want to spend maybe equal dollar on your speakers as you do your equipment. So if you buy, let's say you buy $5,000 speakers, you don't want to go to Amazon and buy a $30 pile, 6-channel amplifier. You don't want to do that. You want to feed your speakers good quality if you expect your speakers to give you good quality in return. So you got to spend a good dollar on your speakers and your equipment. So it doesn't become harder as you go up in hi-fi. You just spend a lot more money on each of your pieces to make sure that they all work cohesively. So it's not harder. You just have to spend a lot of money. Raiden Digital asked a cool question. He asked, when was the first time having surround sound in a video game help you pass part of a gameplay section? Every game that I ever play on a home theater helps me enormously. I play a lot of Call of Duty and Apex Legends, a lot of first-person shooters where there's other people trying to kill me. And it helps significantly to get a one-up on them because I can hear where they're coming from a lot easier than a normal person with a headset on or PC speakers or whatever. I can hear so much quicker and so much deeper in the game. So I can hear what's coming behind me and from the side of me. That distinction between the two is key. So like I play on a PC monitor and I have headphones and they're stereo headphones. So I can hear left and right and I can kind of tell what's in front of me. But it's not easy to tell exactly where they are behind me. But on a home theater, I have surround left and I have surround left back and surround back right and then surround right. So I can pinpoint where people are so I can get the jump on them. So it helps me every time I play a game. I love it. If you have not played a video game on your home theater, you definitely owe it to yourself. Les Matthews, my guy, man, he's been on the channel forever, this guy. He asks, what is the obsession with you of getting more and more bass in your car audio? Well, Mr. Matthews, I don't actually have an obsession with bass in my car. Even though it can get incredibly loud, I never really have it that loud. I have more of an obsession with sound quality. So you have to spend good money on products that are going to give you that. Oftentimes, a lot of these companies send me things, so I've been blessed enough to not have to buy everything that's in my car. But with that being said, it has to sound good for me to keep it in my car. So I'm spoiled by home theater. My home theater, in my personal opinion, sounds incredibly good. And so I spend a lot of time in my car too. So I want my car to sound just as good. So when I listen to a song in my home theater and I listen to that same song in my car, it doesn't sound completely different. So it's more of an obsession on good quality sound than it is bass. But it is pretty fun cranking it up and giving people demos and watching them react. It's hilarious. Now this one is a really good question from 12Mojo1. He asks, how did being a music major help in you understanding the audio world better and how to choose equipment? Great question. Being a music major has made this job a lot easier and kind of separates me from a lot of other people on YouTube. When I was a music major in college, you have to learn about sound itself, sound waves, what causes sound waves, how big or small are sound waves, what does each instrument sounds like, can you identify an instrument without seeing it, learning so many things. Music is a whole nother language and it's not easy to learn. But I spent all my years in college digging deep into it. And so it's helped me a lot. For example, it's helped me in tuning my system and making sure it sounds correct. a lot of people will spend hours and hours tuning their system and getting it sounding correctly and trying to make it sound accurate and lifelike and making the speakers disappear into the room. But you can't do that if you don't know what the instruments sound like or what the voice is meant to sound like. So you're only guessing. But for me, I'm a voice major. So I did a lot of singing. I've listened to a lot of people sing. I've heard every type of voice that's out there, male and female. I've listened to every instrument that is out there. I learned about every instrument that's out there. So when I listen to it in my home, I know when it's not right. I know when it doesn't sound right. I know when that voice doesn't sound good. I know when something's too harsh or too bright. So it's made tuning my system so much easier than a lot of people have it. So it's made a night and day difference in my home theater on my YouTube channel. And I probably wouldn't have a YouTube channel without my music major. I wouldn't have a channel, to be honest with you. So it's helped me come a long way, and it's helped me express home theater to you guys as well in a way that you guys can also understand it. So it's been a night and day difference, and I have zero regrets going to college for that, for sure. All right, Jeff asked another question. He asked, if I stream Tidal, Master, or Hi-Fi music to the AVM70, will it still be in the lossless audio format, or will I have to use Roon once available to get the true benefits? Because I've never used Roon, because it's not yet updated on the AVM70, it's hard to answer this question, but I'm gonna use prior knowledge, and I'm gonna say, when you use like a streaming service, you're streaming it through Wi-Fi most of the time. Wi-Fi connection, and it's only as good as fast as your Wi-Fi is and all that stuff. Wi-Fi is better than Bluetooth, I'll tell you that. But I don't think it's the absolute best audio format that you can have unless you're streaming directly on the AV processor. So in this case, Roon will be a better sounding processor or a better sounding streaming service, because it's going to be a dedicated service inside the AVM70 versus you streaming it from an outside source to the AVM70, if that makes any sense. So when you take a dedicated device and stream on that device and it produces your audio, then you're getting the best possible audio that streaming service can give you. But let's say I'm streaming Tidal to my AVM70, well, it's not gonna sound as great because it's an over-the-air signal. So it's probably not gonna be something you're gonna notice, but if you're a stickler about it and you just wanna know that you're getting the best, then Roon will probably provide that for you. That's probably why it's coming in later dates. All right, so we have one last question from John Legg, and it's a little bit of a paragraph, so let's read it together. He said, I would really like to upgrade my home theater. My only problem is that my current setup really doesn't need more than 5.2. I eventually want to have a bigger room so I can do a 7.2.4. So current room needs don't justify me spending $3K on a processor that does 16 plus channel like the Monolith or Emotiva. So my question is, what receiver would do with pre-outs, and what amplifier will be a nice match? Running a couple different Klipsch speakers and a Klipsch sub. Also want to upgrade subs to the SVS PP2000 Pro or the SB3000. Still not sure, sealed or ported. All right, so let's try to tackle this as the last question. Let's go back to the part where he said he wants to upgrade to a bigger room to go to a 7.2.4. Well, you can always run Atmos in any room. So if you want to go to like a 5.2.4, you can do that. So don't wait to do that. You can do it many different ways. Of course, the easiest way is to put those speaker modules on top of your speakers and let them reflect from your ceiling down to your listening position. If you're in a small room, you probably have 8-foot ceilings. So you can probably get away with that. Now that's the last option. You can do what I do or have done and get the SVS Prime Elevations or the Klipsch Atmos speakers or whatever, and you can hang them high on the wall pointed down to your listening position, and you can have that most that way. If you're living in your own home and you can drill into the ceiling, that's the way to go. You can put the SVS speakers like I have above my head on the ceiling pointed down, and you can do that too. So you can get into Atmos right now. You don't have to wait for a bigger room. There's 3 different options of Atmos for you. So I really recommend venturing into that. Go ahead and try that. I think that'll increase your listening experience without having to go too crazy in a small room. Now, the next part you said, your current room does not justify you spending $3K on a processor that does 16 plus channels. Yes, I agree, but it's not just the 16 plus channels that you get with some of these processors. It's far better sound quality. It's way better calibration, more features, a little more audiophile grade. So you're gonna have to buy this stuff eventually, right? When you move into your bigger room or your bigger house, you're gonna need this stuff. It won't hurt you to have it right now. If you find a deal that you can't pass up, don't pass it up. Go for it. You don't have to use all those channels. You don't. You can turn them off for now, but you still get the better sound quality, the better DACs, the better calibration system, the better build quality, all the features, 8K if you're into that. So you can still make a huge difference in your small room now. Don't let the room necessarily keep you from upgrading and being happy with your system. You can make a small room work. It's more about choosing the right speakers. But with that being said, don't let the small room take you away from buying something you really want, because even though you can't use all 16 channels per se, you can still use the sound quality and the better room calibration and the better bass management and all of that good stuff. So make sure you think about that. So to your actual question, you said, my question is what receiver would do with pre-outs and what amplifier would be a nice match running clipped speakers? So what receiver would match with you? If you want to do a 7.2.4, you're talking about the Yamaha Avantage line. Those are excellent. Anything Marantz is going to be excellent. Denon's going to be great. I think Denon and clips go very well together. I think Yamaha and clips go good together. I think Denon and clips go better together. So you can get a higher end Denon and get your pre-outs. That'll be good. I'm a big fan of Yamaha. Yamaha will do good. If you want to go future proof and buy once, cry once, you can go Anthem and Emotiva and Monoprice like you mentioned and have that for years to come. That won't be a bad idea either. And then going to the PB2000 Pros or the SB3000, sealed or ported. I personally think you should go in a small room, sealed. You don't need PB2000 level bass in a small room at all. If you can only fit a 5.2 in your room now, you probably don't need a big PB2 or anything bigger than a PB2000. I think an SB3000 would be better. It'd be a smaller form factor. It would give you a lot of power and output and really good low bass without over energizing the room. So I think the SB3000 would do better for you. If you can get two of them, I would get two of them. Even though you're in a small room, you cannot beat dual subs. I am a strong advocate. I'm in a small room and I hate having one sub. So I think you should get two SB3000s. I think you can't go wrong with either of that. They have the app to EQ it, make it sound good, and it'll be a really small form factor, so you don't have to worry about trying to find out somewhere to put it. I think that would be the way to go. So I hope that helped you out. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for the questions. This is the kind of fun thing to do. I kind of like, doing questions with you guys. So if you enjoyed the video, leave me a comment down below. Let me know that you like these kind of videos and maybe we'll keep doing them. With that being said, guys, thank you so much. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you guys like these kind of videos and want to do one maybe once a month. Let me know what you guys think about that idea. I think that'd be pretty cool. Let me know in the comment section down below. Hit that like button and subscribe if you are not already. We will see you on Wednesday for the next episode of Subscriber Showcase. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. See you later, guys.